Hey there. Ever get that feeling like someone or something's nudging you towards your soulmate? Or are you the type that carefully chooses who they let in?
Hmm.
We are going to take a deep dive into that age-old debate,
Yeah.
predestined love
Right.
versus free will.
Yeah.
We're using the source that's structured like a podcast called Destined or Decided, The Fate of Love, and specifically
Yeah.
episode 1, which is called Predestined Soulmates versus Free Will in Love.
Ooh, that's a juicy one.
Yeah, it's a good one, right?
Yeah.
So it's a fascinating concept, right?
It really is. Yeah. It kind of taps into, I think, a lot of people's desires, like deep down,
Yeah.
the idea that there's this like pre-chosen soulmate for you that just like perfectly complements you.
Right?
There's a lot of comfort in that,
That
right?
is comforting.
It really is.
It makes you feel like you belong,
Yeah.
You're not alone in trying to figure out this whole love thing.
Exactly. And that there's like this, I don't know, almost like a cosmic
Yeah,
matchmaker
cosmic matchmaker.
working behind the scenes.
Working behind the scenes, yeah.
But then there's that other,
Big flip side.
yeah, the flip side where you're like, no, I'm in control.
Right, exactly.
Like I make my own destiny.
Yeah, the architect of your own love life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's something very empowering
Very empowering.
about that.
Yes.
So the source actually does a pretty good job of like defining these two
Forces.
opposing forces.
Yeah.
So predestined love basically implies that
Like a higher power.
like a higher power, God, fate
He has already chosen.
decided
Yeah.
decided who you're going to end up with.
They've got this like grand cosmic plan.
Right.
Your soulmate's out there waiting for you.
Waiting in the wings.
And like all these events lead you,
Right.
even like random encounters.
Yeah.
Orchestrated to bring you two together.
Oh, so that's why.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why people who believe in predestination
Are always pointing to serendipity and signs because they're like, see, I was just thinking about this person and then I ran into them at the coffee shop.
Exactly. They think those encounters are like
Little breadcrumbs.
breadcrumbs,
Yeah,
leading them right to their soulmate.
right, to their soulmate. But, I mean, if that's true,
Yeah.
then shouldn't everybody be happily,
Coupled up.
yeah,
Yeah.
happily coupled up with their soulmate?
What about the people who spend years searching, decades even?
Right. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Mhm.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So the other side of this is free will.
Yeah.
The source really emphasizes the power of like the choices you make
Mhm.
and the actions that you take.
You're not just a pawn of fate.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
actively, creating this,
You're shaping your own.
you're shaping your own romantic path. Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes sense when you're thinking about compatibility,
Compatibility, shared values,
shared value.
effort, the effort it takes to build something.
Right. It takes effort. You can't just sit back like,
Right.
well, I'm waiting for my soulmate.
Right, exactly.
So if you're truly using your free will to choose who you're going to be with,
Mm-hmm.
that means you're choosing a partner who aligns with your values,
Yeah.
who's going to challenge you to grow.
Someone you can genuinely imagine like building a life with.
Yeah. Building a life. I like that. Building a life.
Yeah.
So instead of waiting for like fate to step in,
Right.
you are actively
Thinking conscious to
about who you let into your life
Yeah.
and how you approach those relationships.
It's not so much like finding the perfect match
Right.
as it is creating a relationship
Creating something that works. Yeah.
that works.
Yeah.
But I mean, I got to admit, there's something very alluring
I
about
think so too.
that idea that there's someone out there that
Mhm.
perfectly completes you.
Completes you. Yeah.
Your soulmate.
That's chosen just for you.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, it's romanticized everywhere. Oh yeah, it's everywhere.
In literature, movies, songs.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, but free will isn't all like
Rosie.
Jersey, right?
No.
Like imagine the pressure.
The pressure, if
Every single decision.
single decision could lead you closer or further from
From the one.
the one.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, it is.
Which is maybe why the source proposes a
middle ground.
a middle.
A blend of the two.
Yeah.
What if they're not actually opposing forces?
Ooh. I like that.
But what if they work together
Yeah.
in tandem?
Okay.
Like, what if fate nudges you in certain directions,
Okay.
presents you with these opportunities,
Okay.
but ultimately, you're the one who decides whether those opportunities blossom, whether they turn into something more.
So it's like a dance.
What's a dance? Yeah.
Between chance and choice.
Yeah, chance and choice.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So it's not either.
Right.
It's like A little of both.
A little bit of both, yeah.
And it makes me think of those,
serendipitous moments.
yeah, the serendipitous moments.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not, like, predetermined events,
Right.
but rather, like...
Crossroads.
Yeah.
Fate presents you with a path, and you get to choose.
Oh, that's a good one.
Do I take this path or not?
I like that.
Yeah.
Do I take this path or not? And that's where...
Personal growth.
Yeah, personal growth comes into play.
Yeah. As you evolve, you learn from experience.
Yeah.
Your understanding of what you need in a partner.
It shifts.
Yeah.
So something that might have felt very intense and meant to be in your early 20s,
Right.
maybe wouldn't hold the same appeal 10 years later.
Right, because you've changed.
You've grown.
Yeah.
You've learned.
You've learned.
So your definition of soulmate...
evolves too.
Yeah, it evolves.
With you.
Right. As you change and grow, your priorities change.
Yeah.
Your values might become clearer.
Your understanding of what you want in a partner
Deepens.
deepens, yeah.
But before we get into too much of that, we should talk about those listener stories.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, like, in the source, they mention these listener stories, people from all walks of life.
Yeah, and they
sharing their experiences that feel more like fate or more like choice.
Right.
And it just fuels this whole debate even further.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an experience that, like, felt totally like destiny?
It's funny you say that because I've had, especially looking back on, my romantic...
History?
Yeah, history.
Yeah.
I've definitely had moments where I'm just like, was that just chance?
Yeah.
Or was there something else going on there?
Like an unseen force.
Like an unseen force.
Guiding thing.
But then there's also those times where I'm like, nope, that was me.
Right. That was all you.
That was all me. I made those choices.
Okay.
And they led me down, specific paths, which haven't always been successful.
Right.
But, it makes you wonder...
Yeah, it's that mix.
It's the mix.
Of feeling guided, but also making your own choices.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what makes it so fascinating.
So fascinating.
Even without hearing those specific personal stories, just thinking about the possibility that both could be at work can really shift
your whole perspective.
Your whole perspective on relationships.
Totally.
Like, think about a past relationship.
Okay.
Was that a destined connection that, like, just ran its course?
Okay.
Or was it a series of choices that led to its end?
Okay. Or maybe a bit of both.
Both.
Yeah.
Okay, but if we're going to entertain this idea that fate plays a role.
Plays a role in love. Yeah.
In love.
We've got to talk about that expert.
Yeah.
The expert opinion.
In the sort of...
Okay, but before we get into that, I think it's important to remember that this expert is part of this fictional...
Yeah, it's all within the world of that podcast.
Yeah, of that podcast. So...
But it's still interesting to think about.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, their perspective is...
it gives us something to think about.
Yeah, it gives us food for thought.
Food for thought, yeah.
So they're suggesting that predestination and free will can coexist.
They can coexist, yeah. Like fate might offer us chances.
Okay.
Present us with potential partners that align with our deepest desires or needs.
Okay.
But it's our free will that determines
whether we seize those chances.
Okay.
And actually cultivate a meaningful relationship.
So you're not just passively waiting for your soulmate to show up.
No.
You have to be.
You have to recognize those seemingly destined encounters.
Recognize the potential.
Recognize the potential. And then...
You got to put in the work.
You got to put in the work.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just...
It's not passive.
It's not passive.
It's active.
You have to...
You're building something.
You're building something.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a...
Dynamic interplay.
Yeah.
Between chance and choice.
Ooh, chance and choice.
Destiny and action.
This is making me think, it's like... It's not just romantic relationships, though.
Yeah.
It's like, if this concept applies to love... It could apply to...
Careers.
Friendships. Like all those major life decisions that just...
That just seem to happen.
Yeah.
Out of the blue.
Yeah, that's a pretty mind-blowing thought.
It is.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
But we will be right back to explore more of this.
More of it.
And what it might mean for you.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back.
Before the break, I was just thinking about...
You're connecting this to...
Yeah, like how this idea of fate versus free will could apply to other areas of life.
Beyond love.
Yeah, beyond love. Like, if it applies to love, could it also apply to our careers or friendships?
Right.
Or even just like major life decisions that just
seem to happen out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's a
big question.
It really is. It's a pretty mind-blowing thought.
It is.
But I guess, so we were talking about the expert and their opinion.
Yeah.
That fate might present opportunities, but it's free will.
That decides how we respond.
Yeah, that decides how we respond to those opportunities.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
If we really embrace free will, doesn't it, like, take away from the magic of love a little bit?
Ooh, interesting.
Because isn't that part of what makes love so captivating?
Yeah, the mystery.
Yeah, like the feeling that it's, like, bigger than us.
Yeah, there's something else at play.
Yeah. Like, this unseen force is, like...
orchestrating these encounters.
Yeah. You know?
That's a good point.
Like, we want to believe that, like, those
epic love stories.
Yeah. Like, in the movies.
In books.
You want to believe it was fate.
Yeah, they were meant to be.
Yeah, they're meant to be. Against all odds.
Against all odds, yeah.
But even in those stories. They still have to make choices, right?
They do. They face challenges.
And
they make mistakes.
Yeah, they make mistakes.
And ultimately, they choose to. Like,
fight for their love.
Fight for their love, yeah.
So even if there's, like, a little sprinkle of destiny in there, it's our choices.
That shape the outcome. Yeah. We're not just following a script.
We're not passive.
We're actively writing our own love stories.
Yeah. And that makes it...
even more meaningful.
Yeah. It's not like you're just, I don't know, like...
fulfilling an obligation?
Yeah, fulfilling an obligation.
It's a choice.
Like, you're choosing to be with this person.
Every single day.
Every day. Through good times and bad.
Through the ups and downs.
Yeah, because you want to.
You want to. Not because you have to.
Not because you have to.
Yeah.
Wow, that really reframes, like, how we think about effort in relationships.
The effort.
It's not a chore. It's not a burden.
Right.
It's an act of love.
It is.
It's like you're deliberately choosing
to nurture this
connection.
Yeah.
Whether it was fate or choice that brought you together.
Exactly. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah. And it takes away some of that. The pressure.
Yeah.
Because if we think there's only one right person,
right,
then it's very easy.
So much pressure to find the one.
To feel like you've failed.
Like you've somehow failed.
Yeah, if you haven't found the one.
Exactly.
Especially, these days.
I know, right?
It's like everybody's on the apps. There's
endless options.
So
easy to get caught up in that.
Right. You have to find the one. You have to.
Or else you've messed up.
You've messed up, yeah.
But, if we think about it, if we have a role to play in shaping our love life,
we have the power.
We have the power to choose.
To choose who we let in and how we build those relationships. It's liberating.
It's very liberating.
It is, yeah.
Because then it's not about
finding that perfect person.
Yeah.
It's about creating the right relationship.
Yeah, creating the right relationship.
Someone who shares your values.
Someone who supports your growth.
And makes you feel loved.
Yeah. And that's something we can control.
Exactly. We have more control over that.
Right.
Yeah.
And that brings us back to
growth.
Personal growth. And how it's all connected to
our experiences in love.
So as we learn and we grow,
our understanding of what we need in a partner,
it changes.
Changes too, yeah.
So a connection that felt really intense, like it was meant to be.
Yeah, meant to be.
In your younger years.
Might not
feel the same later on.
Yeah.
Because you've changed.
We've changed.
You've grown.
We've grown. We've learned.
You've learned from your experiences.
Yeah, we've gained new perspectives.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean
those past connections
weren't significant.
No.
Like they served a purpose.
They did. They taught us lessons.
Yeah.
They shaped who we are today.
But we're not static.
No, we're
constantly evolving.
Yeah.
And our relationships need to evolve with us.
Yeah.
It's like, even if we believe in soulmates, we can have multiple soulmates.
Oh, interesting.
Throughout our lives.
I like that.
Yeah. People who enter our lives.
At different stages.
And help us grow.
In different ways.
That's
beautiful.
Yeah. What's important is that we're open to those connections.
Open to the connection. Yeah.
Whether they're,
orchestrated by fate or by choice.
Yeah. And we approach them with intention.
We
make choices.
that align with our values.
That align with our value.
And contribute to our well-being.
This whole conversation has made me rethink my entire approach to relationships.
Really?
It's not about, like, finding the one.
Yeah.
It's about, like, recognizing the potential.
The potential for love.
Yeah.
And then nurturing that.
Making the choice to nurture it.
Yeah.
And being present.
Being present in those relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, recognizing that they're not static.
They're journeys.
They're journeys, yeah.
So where does this leave us?
Ooh, good question.
In this debate.
Predestined love versus free will.
Are we leaning towards one side or the other?
You know, I love a good clear-cut answer.
Right.
But I think I think the beauty of this whole thing is the ambiguity.
Ooh, I like that.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution here.
Yeah.
What matters is
that we're mindful
of our choices.
Of the choices that we're making.
Yeah.
And we approach them
with intention.
With intention and a sense of
responsibility.
Because at the end of the day, whether we think we're
guided by fate
or we're forging our own paths,
we're the ones who decide.
We decide how the story unfolds.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a pretty powerful
It is powerful.
realization. I don't know about you, but I've got a lot to think about.
I do too. It's like we opened up this Pandora's box.
We did.
Of questions about love and destiny and
the choices we make.
The choices we make, yeah.
So before we move on to the final part of this deep dive, let's take a moment.
To reflect.
Yeah.
Think about your own experiences.
Your own beliefs.
Your beliefs, yeah.
Do you feel more drawn to one side than the other? And how do those beliefs shape
the way you approach relationships?
Yeah. We'll come back. And delve into those reflections.
And wrap up our deep dive into this fascinating topic.
Okay, we'll be right back. So, have you decided team predestined love or are you on team free will?
Ooh, tough choices, right?
I know. This whole thing has really made me rethink how I look at relationships.
It's really about recognizing, you know, how complex love is.
Yeah.
And how both fate and free will can change how we see it, you know?
It's like we've been given these two lenses.
Two different lenses, yeah.
Yeah, to view our love lives through.
And depending on which one we choose, like the same event can have
completely different meanings.
Totally different meanings, yeah.
Like imagine you meet someone totally out of the blue.
Okay.
And there's this like instant spark.
Instant spark, yeah.
Someone who's all about predestined love. They might be like, this is a sign from the universe.
This was meant to be.
Yeah.
This was meant to be.
Right.
But someone who's all about free will
might think about the choices that led them to that moment.
The choices.
Yeah, like, I chose to go to that coffee shop.
Right.
I swiped right on that dating profile.
Yeah.
I could have just as easily stayed home.
Yeah.
It's crazy how our beliefs can shape how we see things.
It's wild.
It really is wild.
Yeah.
But I guess, like, they're both valid, right?
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not about saying one is right or wrong.
Yeah, it's about exploring how these different ideas, like, can help us understand love and relationships better.
Absolutely.
So, okay, let's say we do believe that both fate and free will are kind of doing their thing in our love lives.
Yeah.
What does that even mean for us?
That's the question.
Like, how do we even navigate this dance?
Between destiny and choice.
Yeah, between destiny and choice.
It's tricky.
It is tricky.
It means being open to those, you know, fated encounters.
Those moments.
The moments that make you believe in something bigger.
Yeah, those meant to be moments.
Yeah.
But those moments are just the beginning, right?
The beginning, yeah.
We still have to...
We got to make choices.
We got to choose to build something.
To nurture it.
To nurture it.
Build a foundation of trust and respect.
We can't just sit around.
No more passive.
Yeah. No more being passive. We've got to take action.
Take action. Make it happen.
It's like, fate might deal the cards.
Okay, I like that.
But we decide how to play them.
We decide how to play them, yeah.
We're not just along for the ride.
Right, we're not passengers.
We're active participants.
Active participants, yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard this quote.
Okay.
Maya Angelou once said, have enough courage to trust love one more time and always one more time.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that great?
It is, yeah.
It's about being brave enough.
Yeah.
Open yourself up.
To open yourself up to love, yeah.
Yeah, whether you think it's
destiny or a choice.
Yeah. Destiny or a choice.
And that courage is so important.
Yeah, it is.
No matter what you believe.
You got to take that leap of faith.
You do.
Right.
You got to trust in the unknown.
You got to trust in the unknown.
Whether it's,
a plan that's already been made.
or the path you choose.
So I guess have we figured it out?
Have we solved the mystery?
Yeah. Are we destined to find love, or do we choose it?
I think,
Yeah.
I think the beauty of it is that we don't know.
We don't know.
The magic is in the mystery.
I like that. The magic is in the mystery.
Yeah, the endless potential for love to surprise us.
Yeah, and maybe the journey is more important.
Maybe.
Than the destination.
The ups and downs, the challenges.
The serendipity.
The serendipity, it's all part of it.
It's all part of the story.
Yeah.
So I guess what we're saying is embrace the unknown.
Embrace the possibilities.
Yeah.
Remember that love, even when it's messy.
It's a journey worth taking.
It's a journey worth taking.
Whether it's written in the stars or a choice you make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
For this exploration of love.
Destiny, free will.
And the choices that shape our lives.
Until next time, keep those hearts open.
Keep exploring.
Never stop exploring love.
Love and be loved.
We'll see you next time.